everyone, you're about to see other me in like 10 seconds, but I just wanted to give a quick note that the video you're about to see is the first of several. My guests were really amazing and they had really awesome stories and I didn't want to edit it too much. So they're a little bit longer than usual, and if you guys liked it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe and share and all those fun things. So here we go. Everybody, today isn't your typical blend and chat video. We are actually joined here with two USC greats. We have Sam Cunningham and Rod McNeil. How are you guys doing today?
Doing well.
Doing well?
How are you doing? Fabulous.
I'm doing great. I have coffee. You can't, yeah, specifically 5 sugars?
Mocha colored.
Mocha colored. When in doubt, just make sure it's the color of my skin.
Yes,
that's all.
5 sugars.
That's all I say.
That does
5
vary.
sugars.
I mean,
It depends. It does vary what kind of mocha that you're gonna get. Well, thank you guys for being here and braving the LA traffic to spend some time with me and drink some coffee.
Danielle, thank you for having us. Or having me. I don't know about Rob. But yeah.
Just you?
yes,
Yeah.
Totally.
You're welcome. Both of you have had really amazing careers. When would you say that your football career started?
Elementary school.
Elementary school. All right. Yeah.
Not so much elementary for me. Later.
Later?
High school.
For me, it was elementary school. Franklin Elementary School in Santa Barbara, California.
Well, at USC, both of you started in '72. You were a fullback and you were a tailback,
yes.
I believe. And you guys won the national championship and you finished undefeated.
Yes, we did.
Do you remember that season?
Yes.
What was it like to finish undefeated?
Well, it was kind of expected, I think, partly.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to take it back a little bit because the whole thing had a preamble going back as far as even high school. Yeah, I was I ran track in high school, and Sam was also in track. So I would see him at track meets. Like, that's an interesting guy over there. He was big, had a lot of notoriety. Everybody knew who he was. And I also heard he was going to SC. And so, good, gonna be playing with this guy. He's obviously a great player. And that's part of why you make a decision to go to a place like SC. All the great players who've gone before and all the great players that are going to be coming in that freshman year. Mm-hmm. And we had, in my opinion, one of the greatest freshman classes that had ever gone to SC. I was thinking about it on the way over here, how special it really was. Because when we were going to USC, which had a unique kind of position in college football at that time, which, Sam I'm sure will talk more about because of what was going on in other conferences like the SEC and ACC where black players weren't even allowed to play. And my experience coming out of North Carolina where everything was segregated. Every aspect of our existence was segregated. We couldn't go where white people went. We couldn't drink out of the same water fountains. We couldn't even, sit down at the same place and have a meal.
Yeah.
And my family, some of my relatives were involved in demonstrating to help make that a reality, that we could share in those things, basic human rights. And then coming to California where things were a lot more progressive, and then seeing how we could eventually take that to something like being at USC, where we probably had more African Americans on that freshman group than USC was used to. Mm-hmm. So we got to experience that, and then to be with some of the greatest players who ever played the game. It was probably too special. It's going to take a lifetime just to understand how really unique and special that was.
Yeah, I bet. I obviously have not gone through anything like that. So it's really interesting for me to hear, you and others talk about that. And actually, just by you saying that, for you, when SC played Alabama, that game was obviously very special in the sense where it was a pivotal moment that Alabama hadn't expected, and then you were extremely instrumental, Sam, in kind of changing the way that they recruit their players because they started to integrate Southern football at that point. So what was that like for you?
Well, it was different only because the game was scheduled so recently. It wasn't like games are now scheduled years and years in advance, you know. So, it was kind of like they surprised us with it, not surprised us, but I mean, gentlemen, we're going to play Alabama in Birmingham. And, we had 17, 18 black players on our team. A bunch of them from the Deep South who understood the climate better than I did. I came out of Santa Barbara, California, so, Rod understood it better than I did. I knew of the climate, but, I didn't grow up like that. So, I could go wherever I wanted to, walk in flip-flops, talk to anybody, so it was what it was. Now, what a lot of people don't know is that I got a recruiting letter in high school from the University of Alabama.
Good.
Yeah. It was a recruiting letter. They sent me pictures of the athletic dorms, this, that, and the other, and so I looked at it, I read it, showed it to my dad, he looked at it. There was no possible way I was leaving Santa Barbara, California to go to Tuscaloosa. It would have been difficult for me, I probably could have done it, but it wouldn't have been fun. But then to go to SC, be recruited by SC, get the opportunity to go to SC, get the opportunity to play with such great players and be competitive and end up becoming a part of that history and legacy in another way. It's pretty amazing, and we changed college football history that night, but over the course of time, changed pro football, that one little drop that night just changed everything. And here we are now. You have kids who go to school in the SEC and other areas of the South that have no idea what it was like 46 years ago.
Well, I learned that game actually was only 6 years after the Civil Rights Act. So
yes.
It's like it had already been 6 years, and just after that game was when things slowly started to change.
The civil rights climate at that time was pretty dicey. The game was 70 and 68. Dr. King was assassinated. 69, we put a man on the moon. JFK was, prior to that was president. It was probably one of our most popular presidents, civil rights wise, racially wise. 4 girls were killed in a bombing in a church, not far from where the game was played. So, and then you have this football game in 1970 that is scheduled kind of like at the last minute between USC and Alabama. Bear Bryant, legendary coach, John McKay, legendary coach. So Coach Bryant asked him to bring his team down, with the idea that it's time for his program or his program to start integration. Even though they had a player in their program, Wilbur Jackson. He was a freshman. And back then, freshmen could not play varsity, so he wasn't on the field that evening. We get the lion's share of the credit because we had 17, 18 black players on our team. We traveled to Birmingham and played a football game. And the thing about football games and any athletic event is that, they start, they happen, they finish, and if you're a fan, you know who's the better team and who isn't the better team. And that night we were vastly better than them. But those people in the stands, and most of them being white people, probably racist white people.
More like 99%.
Yeah, they actually, if there's a way to see the future, they saw it that evening. The most important thing is that the powers that be that would allow Coach Bryant to recruit blacks saw the future. That night was a prelude to them to strengthen their program. But it had to be done through integration, and that's what they saw. So, but for me, it was just a football game, get on the plane, fly, his first road trip, first varsity game. So my mind was occupied with other things other than it being a black-white thing, even though I knew it was that, to a certain extent. So, in the midst of a football game, history was made, and history is being felt today. You know, a lot of these kids today who play for University of Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi State, Mississippi, they have no idea that at some point they wouldn't have been allowed to play for those programs, you know, but that game went a long way with helping that happen. So, you know, to be a part of something like that is an honor. You know, that's a USC legacy. You know, all of us who don the cardinal and gold are a part of that. You know, all the people who go to USC are a part of that because that's part of our history. Some people, you know, I listened to the story and I said, man, you know, what game are you talking about? But you know, it's what they feel and it's what they know and what they've heard. So, you know, but to be a part of it as a player and to see what it's done so far, you know, down the line is very honorable.
I kind of tried to put a move on the guy and eventually ran into him. And I knocked the guy down and Coach McKay went ballistic. So we had don't touch status at that point.
Yeah.
We were still recovering. And he went crazy on the guy and yelled at him for hitting me. It was really my fault. I just stumbled right into him.